So it's an absolutely beautiful day this Monday. We've got very warm temperatures. It sits around 20 degrees, but if you're out in the sun it feels like even more. So we've pulled it inside, even though now the sun is moving around slowly and just starting to creep up and to pick up a little bit, but it'll be okay. Most of the greasing is back here in this section of the machine. Two main sections to grease either side of the machine. There's about 6 bearings on each side, 12 altogether, and you just have to throw a shot of grease in those. Few bearings. Then on this shaft here that runs up the centre of underneath this cover, and you have to throw a bit of grease in each of those, and 2 drive shafts to be greased, and then there's a couple of points then on the pickup that has to be greased as well. So it's not a hard machine to grease, but a few of the places you have to grease are in awkward enough position, so you just have to get down in there. So I have 2 grease guns to do that. I have the Milwaukee, which should be fully charged. It is fully charged, and just a handheld grease gun as well. So yeah, oh, the cover is caught on it. Sometimes that doesn't always catch. There's a little spring-loaded clip here. Sometimes you just have to push it back as you lift up the cover. It's a safety catch, I suppose, just to stop if you have the machine running or anything like that. It just stops kids from maybe lifting it up. But anyway, yeah, so as I say, there's 6 bearings here to grease, main bearings, and then there's like a couple of grease points then. Apart from those, there's one here on this shaft here. There is also, yeah, there's a couple then just on little bearings then that the chains run on too. So I'm going to get going on greasing some of those, and when I have those greased, we'll be concentrating on taking off the chute and trying to get that end of it sorted out. So I'll set up the camera here. You can see a little bit of the greasing going on. Alright, so we've pulled the chute off just to see what was causing it to be a little bit on the stiff side to turn. And there is this plastic ring that it sits on, a good bit of wear on it. It would be causing some friction on it, so we're going to just clean it all down. We have a new one, which is, where is it? My dad might have took it away with him. But yeah, we'll clean all this down, we'll get the new ring in. We've got some expensive grease that we can put on it, and it'll help to get it to run nice and smooth on it. Should make a good job of it. Yeah, you can see, as I see, if you might be able to see it with the light, but there's a whole section of it here that was rubbing and catching. So yeah, not a massive job, and it should make a big difference on it. So we're going to just get cleaning on that, and we'll get up back on. Alright, so that kind of sorted out our issue. It is running a little bit smoother than it was now, the harvester, but I do suspect that the motor here for turning the chute is a little bit on the weak side. It's just starting to go a little weak. So that's something we're going to have to look into in the future. It is moving it, but yeah, I think we're going to have to address that. Everything else now is good to go. We've everything greased. Everything is done and dusted with the harvester. I do need to wash the very top of the chute, so when it goes on the tractor for the last, when everything is mowed out, I'll pull it up onto the wash bay, drop the chute down, give it a hose. Nothing major, but yeah, we are ready with that. Yard, Peter, my cousin, was up yesterday, did a bit of washing. He hosed down any of the muck that was here. I did tidy the front of the pit. I just took a layer off the whole front of the pit. We've been using roughly about 200 kilos of silage per day is all we're using. We have a small amount of beef cattle still there and very little silage being used. So the result was that the whole front of the pit started just have that black tinge off it. So I just went across the whole front of it. I had to take about 4 inches off the entire front of it and we dumped it out for dung, and it's just left a lovely fresh clean cut now on the front of it. And yeah, grass should ensile nicely on it. I don't know with the camera there, maybe it looks a bit darker than what it actually is, but it's probably starting to discolor a little bit already. That was done yesterday. So but yeah, it's nice silage that, and it's good to have it. But yeah, we'll put the covers aren't up yet. We'll put them up on Friday morning before we start to lift. We hope to lift on Friday evening, that's the plan. So we'll put the covers on along the two sides then, and we also have a pipe for effluent that runs along the wall here, so all that will be done on Friday. All we do now, I'm going to go up and take out the other mower. I have it hooked on the tractor. I don't know what the blades is like in it yet, so we'll pull it out. I have to give it a hose down and we'll check the blades out, see what it looks like. Alright, so let's have a little look at these blades and see if we can see what they're like. I don't think that they should be too bad, because from memory we put a new set of blades on last year, and that looks to be the case. They don't even need sharpened. This mower last year didn't do that much. All it mowed out, as far as I can remember, is the first cut and the second cut. It might have done a little bit of hay at some point just to get stuff dropped down, but most of it was just silage. There is a little bit of a round on that blade there. Let's see what the other one's like. That's not too bad. I think they might be okay. I might run the grinder on them, just give it a little bit of a freshen up, but overall not too bad. Yeah, so that is roughly this machine ready. I greased it before I actually took it out. There's not that many grease points on it altogether. PTO shaft, and then just a couple of places then where the rams are, and where it pivots around as well. There's one here. So the greasing of this machine is quite easy to do. 6.4 have it all washed. We've it all greased up, so it's ready to go. Silage trailers are washed. This is the larger one. It's the only one we hopefully will be using. The smaller one, we have it washed, but we don't intend to use it. And all I really have left to do now is wash the 6.9. It was away today collecting a load of maize meal, so you can see there's a white dust on it. There was no point washing it until the very end. So yeah, the herring, The heron is kind of on her last legs, so she is. It's rotten. It needs a whole top on it. This trailer, we've had endless trouble with it right from it was a couple of years old. Not even inside the first 12 months, there was rust showing up on it here on the whole front of it, and unfortunately we had gone on to William Heron, who we purchased it off, and he wasn't interested in doing anything about it, and we've been on to him numerous times over the years, and he never he just fobbed it off, didn't want anything to do with it. So I don't know where the fuck they got the steel for this trailer, but it must have been in a lucky bag. The top half of it just is completely rotten. It needs a whole top. It's just a disgrace. So it is. And you know how we mine our machinery, we couldn't stop it from rusting out. There's holes in it, all the holes in it all up further. It's just, yeah, its time is done. Once you can see daylight, you know it's a waste of time. The funny thing is, the older Heron trailer, which is 6 years older, has no rust on it at all. So whatever happened, or whatever steel was being used in this trailer, there was some kind of shortcuts taken when they were using this one. So yeah, disappointing to end up with a trailer that's rotten. It shouldn't be like this. Yes, it's got a little bit of age to it now, but it shouldn't rot out from under you like that. So anyway, that's the way it goes. There'll never be another Heron trailer coming around here again. Okay, so that is that done. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get the 6.9, we're going to give it a hose down, hoover it out and get that ready. We're nearly ready. There's not much more left before mowing. Hopefully this evening what I aim to have is the other mower hooked on and to be ready to pull out in the morning and go and drop the grass. So fingers crossed. Alright, so we have all the washing more or less done on the tractor. I'm going to sponge it down and then just blast the sudsy stuff off. It'll put a bit of a shine on it and finish it off quite nicely. It'll leave a small amount to do in the morning. I'll have to clean the inside of it, bit of a hoover out, do the windows, done and dusted, and that's the end of cleaning tractors. I am sick of cleaning tractors and teleporters and everything else, harvesters, trailers, sick of it. So I'll be glad to have it done. The only thing is, at least it's kind of done now. The cleaning is done, the dirty work is finished. There's not going to be much muck, hopefully, over the next few months. Tractors will be in reasonably good condition for doing hay and then harvest a bit later on. It'll not be hard to give them a quick blast, the hose. The bulk of the rough muck and dirt is off them. But yeah, although it could be worse. I could be like some farming YouTube channels and be having to clean a case, so that won't start. Yeah, it can always be worse. Speaking of couldn't be worse, it done a little shower of rain there earlier. Rain for about 10 minutes. Not ideal. I thought we'd missed it, but it just done about 10 minutes of heavy rain. It is starting to dry off. You see the yard starting to dry out, but it is going to wet the grass. It's going to take a little bit of time in the morning now. If it's a good morning and the sun's out and it's warm as it has been for the last number of days, it's not going to be that big of an issue. It'll burn off fairly quickly, it'll dry out, and we'll still get mowing maybe around dinner time or so, and we'll get it dropped fairly quickly. So we'll see how it all pans out. Maybe there'll be more rain this evening or tonight and it'll stall it, and we mightn't be mowing until Friday. But yeah, we'll see how it works out. But that's it. Glad to have everything ready. I will be, as the weekend goes on, I'll be taking plenty of footage. I don't know whether it'll be up in one video or in 2 parts. I'll see. It depends how much footage there is. And I'll keep everything transparent and clear. If anything goes wrong, it'll be all in the video anyway. So yeah, that is it for today's video. If you're not already subscribed, hit the sub button, leave a like on the video, comment down below. All that stuff helps the channel, so greatly appreciated if you can do any of those things. And yeah, that's it. Team Green. Don't let them case guys get in and up on us. Team Green. See you in the next one.